how to have good posture in a way that is sustainable and feels good and doesn't make your back tired as a result. This is one of the most common questions I get as an Alexander Technique teacher. How do I have better posture? So today we're going to explore this in depth. We're going to talk about the underlying causes of bad posture and how our society's typical ideas about what good posture actually make things worse, and then what to do about all this. I'm going to give you several ideas for how to have perfectly effortless posture, just like a little baby sitting. Very upright and very mobile and fluid. This is really what we're going for. So my name is Joseph Arnold. I'm a violinist, Alexander Technique teacher, and director of the Soul Force Arts Institute. And it is my mission in life to share what helps people come more alive while you do your daily things, especially in creative and artistic settings. So, for example, a lot of musicians and actors and dancers think about posture just sometimes it's aesthetic. Like for an actor or a dancer, you need to hold a particular kind of posture because that's just part of the thing that you're doing. But a lot of times it's about comfort and functionality and fluidity. And this is really the fundamental idea about why do we even have, or why do you even think about posture, is to be more functional. It's to be able to be comfortable while you're doing whatever it is that you do in your life. Now, this becomes really important to understand because our culture's typical ideas about posture actually get in the way of things. So here's how it works. Say you find yourself slumping, kind of tight and down, and what you do as a response is pull your shoulders back, push your chest out and up, and put your head forward. And even if you use an idea from yoga, the sort of good posture ideas from yoga, it's still the same thing. Point your chest, point your heart towards the sky. You're still imposing your will onto your body. You're still holding a position. You're still using more muscular effort. You can do this right now. Take a little slump and then go, good posture. What do you notice about your body? Did you get tighter or freer? Well, if you got tighter, then that's obviously not sustainable. It's more interference. It's more tightness that's just going to make moving around in your life more difficult. And you don't want that. And the confusion that a lot of people have is that up means tight. Up means I need to put effort into my body. Somehow we have this idea in our culture that our bodies are wrong, that we need to fix our bodies through an imposition of will, but it really doesn't work, because the result is you get more tight and more tired. You end up having two problems instead of just one. So you have a slump, which is not just relaxation, it's a tightening down. And then you have all the stuff you do on top of the slump. That's two problems instead of just one. Right? The thing that you want to do is undo the root causes of the slump in the first place. And then what'll happen is that your body naturally comes back to having good posture, just like a little baby sitting or a little baby standing. Like little babies have perfect posture. They don't try to have good posture. It's because they're getting out of the way of themselves. You could reclaim this. You still have this in you. It's just a matter of letting go of the root cause of the tension. So one of the most common causes of slumping is actually emotional. And so if you experience some sort of trauma in your life, or you've developed emotional armoring that takes form in your muscles. So what is this is just sort of basic developmental psychology and physiology. One of the basic ways that we have to deal with pain is to tighten. We tighten around the area of pain, and it does dampen the pain a little bit, but it only does it temporarily. The pain is still there. So if you have this emotional pain in your heart or your gut or elsewhere, you're going to notice this tightening that happens around it. And with that tightening, your body's naturally, just can't help but come into a slump. All right? So one area of treatment is not quite the right word, but you could say that one area of treatment for a slump or being kind of curled in is to do the emotional work, do your shadow work, go see a therapist, find out what's happening in that area of tension that's sort of chronically held in your body. Another approach has to do with having the right sort of mind-body connection. Actually, we're going to do a couple explorations around this. So, one, the problem with this military kind of posture, putting your chest out and your arms back, is that your body becomes more stuck and still, sort of static, instead of dynamic and fluid, right? And so you're putting yourself into a still position, an inert position, and that's because of your idea of posture is sort of stationary. Okay, now I have good posture. But that's not the reality of how your body works. You're always in movement. Again, look at babies. They're always in movement. It's only later in life that we become more still because, we've been conditioned in school to sit still, sit still, sit still, right? It's not good for us. It's really not. Sitting is the new smoking, right? So your body is meant for movement. So what you want is to have an idea of movement that also moves, a body idea that moves. So instead of like thinking of like a string attached to the top of your head, because that's another static kind of linear idea, stationary idea, what you want is a movement idea. So you could think of water coming up through your pelvis, along your spine, and going out your head. All right, so there's like a flowing idea. And even now as I do this, I can tell that my body's kind of lifting up, but through a release. It's a lifting through a release, a letting go, as opposed to like trying to make my body go up, which is just more muscular tension. All right, so we talking about the fundamental causes of poor posture, which are emotional, and also having a stationary, static idea, a positional idea rather than a movement idea of movement. And the third thing we're going to look at is how you pay attention. So it turns out that what you pay attention to, how you pay attention, has direct impact on your body. And it's not so difficult to understand this. You're looking at your phone for a long time. Your attention is very narrow. Are you aware of what's going on around you? No. You're sucked into the screen, right? What's happening in your body in that moment? You've probably noticed this. Looking at a screen for a long time or just writing for a long time, your body gets tight. It's because your awareness is going in, narrow, narrow, narrow. All right? So what do? Instead, you notice the space around you. You open up your awareness. And as soon as you do that, you notice the space above, to either side, and around, and behind you, and below you, sort of filling out the picture of the space around you. Then your body's going to relax. And you're going to sort of expand, your body's going to expand, in a sense, to fill that space, rather than contract to fill this space, the tunnel vision space. Okay, so there are some ideas around posture, and there's a lot more that we can cover here, and so stay tuned for future videos about Alexander technique, about posture, about how to be comfortable in your body while doing difficult things like playing music or other creative activities. And I'm going to make videos about particular injuries as well, like back pain and carpal tunnel syndrome and TMJ and all those kinds of things. So, as well as more content about like getting in touch with your creative purpose and fulfilling that. So there's lots to come on this channel, the Soul Force Arts Institute. You can check out soulforcearts.com. Check out the links below. You can download my Soul Force Arts Starter Kit, a free mini course designed to help you get in touch with your Soul Force at soulforcearts.com by signing up for my email list, which I hope you do. Okay, please like and subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it, if you got something out of it, and I will see you next time.